The four P's to unlock growth for investment Stokvels in South Africa. Welcome to another presentation by Mariba Management. We hope you will enjoy this presentation. The first slide is basically an overview of the presentation. So we will have the introduction and why we are doing this topic. We will have the first topic of the presentation, which is products that allows seamless investment transactions. We will have products for connecting investment stockfiles. We will have products for technical advisory, such as legal advice. Then we're going to have products for analyzing stockfile performance data. And the last discussion point will be content is king. Introduction and the why. So we have been part of a stokvel for 7 years, and the journey has really taught us a lot. So an investment stokvel is basically where a group of people come together, they start saving money as a group. They have a constitution that guides them and all these rules of conduct, and then they have a common goal. So usually in investment stokvels, common goal is how can we grow the capital that we are saving. So I've been part of such a club for 7 years, and then in the 7 years we have learned that there is a lack of innovation in the stokvel accounts that exist. So we save money with a bank, and then the banks call these accounts stokvel accounts, but they don't really offer much beyond they allow you to save money and to withdraw money. But if you're an investment stokvel, that's like maybe at most 10% of what you require to succeed as an investment stokvel. So it just also reminded us that when we started hearing about stokvel accounts, what we thought stokvel accounts would be were these accounts that have taken the model that existed for years, where it was the older generations were saving money together and they would distribute it at the end of the year, and then they would repeat the process. So they would take those principles and build upon it to say, okay, moving forward, these accounts will allow you to invest money, they will allow you to buy shares, they should allow you to do other things with your money besides distributing it for consumption, basically. That's what stokvel accounts should have been from our perspective. And then we've also had innovators who have come through as well, who have contributed to the stokvel ecosystem from a technology point of view. The likes of Stockfella, they are a good platform that allows people to start um, contributing and saving as a group in a safe and transparent manner. So this works for a lot, especially for people who are forming groups with strangers. This is a very safe route to follow. But there's even with them, there's still a lot of innovation that still doesn't exist in the ecosystem. But these are one of the few people who have started contributing to the ecosystem of Stockfels. And then the question that keeps coming back, so as a group, what we normally, when we're facing a challenge, we always are looking for an efficient way of doing things. And it's always a question of why can't we do this using our stokvel account? Why doesn't our stokvel account have a function where we would be able to vote for something, where we would be able to do a certain agreement, yeah, perform certain administrative tasks within the stokvel account, because all the data of the members is there. So some of these could just be value added services that we keep wondering why we cannot do more with these accounts. So this is what has driven us to even start writing about this topic and ultimately this presentation. So the next slides, I'm going to be discussing the 4 Ps that we think are important for the growth of this ecosystem. So you can call them pillars, you can call them products. Yeah, but we just called it the 4 Ps. So it's different. So it's 4 different segments of the overall what enables an investment stockful to thrive, and the areas where we are asking questions, we are making some suggestions, and just to drive the conversation further to say, how do you grow this ecosystem of investment stockfuls in South Africa? So we'll start with the first P. So the first P, this is about legal structures for investment for investment transactions. So once you've started and you've formed your group and you are saving, one of the early challenges that you're going to face is that you want to make a transaction, but maybe the way you formed your group does not allow you to transact. For example, if you are registered as a Stokvel and you're just using a Stokvel account, you are not legally allowed to make investment transactions. You would first have to go register a legal entity such as a private company, a cooperative. So just you guys forming as a group and you have a constitution and you open a bank account, a Stokvel account, it's not enough for you to start making investments. There's a whole there's a whole lot of other structures that you need to then now go prepare, build, and find so that you can start making transactions, which makes it makes the that's where the work starts happening now of if you're gonna become an investment stockfell, you need to start building these investment structures for you guys that are constructed in a legal way, right? So you'll find that when we wanted to borrow money to one of the members, we had to go draft our own contracts. We had to go figure out what is the prime rate of lending at the moment, so we offer a fair deal to the member. We had to figure out how are we going to calculate interest. There's a lot of administrative tasks that we had to figure out ourselves and learn as a group, which all of this can be a product where if in on the Stokvel account you have a feature where it's just or you have a function within the product that's just dedicated to borrowing members capital, and then it's a product on its own that's built just to solve that problem, and that's just built specifically to allow groups to be able to borrow this money in a very seamless manner, right? in in a legal way, of course. So yeah, those are the things that you start having to do administrative tasks or in order to perform these investment transactions. So the structures created need to incorporate compliance requirements, which is why it would make sense for organizations like banks that are already offering these Stokvel accounts to tap into growing this offering and be the ones who are supporting the creation of all these innovations that we are suggesting and presenting. Yeah. So that's just about creating legal structures for investment transactions. Let's move on to the next slide. Then we also need products that's going to enable collaborations amongst investment stockfields, right? So we've done some research and then we are not finding a platform where we can say we are for example, let's say that we are a group based in Limpopo. We want to invest in property opportunities. How do we collaborate with a group that's in Cape Town, Khayelitsha, that also wants to invest in property opportunities? There is no platform or forum that's created for us to be able to meet and discuss these ideas and possibilities of collaboration where we can find a good deal and then collaborate on funding that project, or but yeah, there isn't those forums that are existing for investment stockfields with similar goals to get together. I remember I was just even thinking that maybe we should even be building a Tinder for investment stockfields, right? Where you have investment stockfields on the platform and then you match based on your common goals and investment appetite, risk appetite. That's something that I think there's opportunities to build these platforms that can enable investment stockfields to collaborate. So that's like the second P. And then the third P is for legal and other technical advisory. So there's risks that need professional consultation. For example, if you guys are not very qualified as a group to make investments, or you don't have a lot of financial background in your team, if let's say you want to make an investment in an asset like cryptocurrencies, you might want to consult a professional fund manager who's focused on that area. um, you might want to consult with a tax planner to say, how do you account for this asset that is new? Are there any tax laws that you need to consider? Some of these questions around the risk might require you to speak to a professional. Think about legal agreements between, let's say, a Stockfell and an external party. If you want to give someone who's not part of your group money, how do you go about protecting yourself in that? So there's all these questions that raise risks that need professional consultation. And uh, this is an area where there's also an opportunity to create products and services that specifically cater to investment stockfields, where you'll need investment bankers who understand what investment stockfields are, what they want to do, and how you can bridge the gap between the how investment stockfields operate and what investment banker opportunities can be presented to these types of groups. So this is another pillar that can enable growth and will need parties involved to come and be innovative in the way that they offer their solutions. So we're going to move on to the fourth one. So this is to analyze Stockfell performance data. So as we all know, we're living in the age of data. This is essential for objective assessment of how the group is performing. So you want to be able to get data in a manner that as a group, uh, we will be able to make decisions that are informed by the data that we are either creating or that we are getting from how involved or how we are performing as a group. So investment stockfields have various forms of data. Think about the bank statements where they are receiving all these contributions from members. Think about all the meeting notes that are taken down, all those recordings. Think about the WhatsApp groups, the conversations happening in the WhatsApp groups, the various WhatsApp groups. Think about the agreements that are written, if there's a portfolio that is being managed, those performances. So all the data needs to be integrated into reporting that the leadership can access and be able to analyze to make informed decisions to help the stockful grow even more. So yeah, there needs to be some products that can cater to investment stockfields and allow them to really use their data to make informed decisions. Yeah. So those are like the four P's in a nutshell that we think will really grow um, the Stokvel ecosystem, specifically investment Stokvels. And the last one that would just like to mention, it's as a bonus, is that content is gonna be key. Content is king. So we need creative people to tap into the investment Stokvel content to amplify the parts of the four P's we've been discussing in this presentation. Um, Podcast and YouTube vlogs seem like an accessible distribution. So for those who are interested in creating this type of content, you can easily distribute via YouTube and other audio forms of distribution channels. Podcasts also have the highest form of conversion rate due to people who tune into YouTube and content, podcast content, do so by choice. So people who are tuning into this, like if you've been tuned in this far, it means maybe you really want to engage in this type of content. That's why an ad or whatever on this type of video would be more valuable to someone who's looking to market, because someone who's watching this type of content, they're probably very engaged. um, Investment stockfields are important to democratize luck and opportunities. So as people in South Africa, there's a lot of poverty, and if we can, we need to get together as groups and form investment stockfields so that other people in our networks who would ideally wouldn't be able to build a fund by themselves or investment stockfile by themselves can be part of these movements and have an opportunity to get lucky if the strategy works out. And then past generations have used stockfiles as a tool to save, and I think the next generations must innovate the tool by creating investments, creating assets, building communities, and using this culture to really build on what it was initially started for, but to really move it forward. And then, yeah, that's our presentation for today. Thanks for tuning in. Would really like your feedback. Get in touch with us if you really want to discuss some of the topics. We really are a multi-layered management company. We do consulting management, we do risk management, and we also do asset management, but that's just for our own assets as a company. But yeah, mainly we offer consulting services and risk management services. So you can email us if you want to get involved, if you want to discuss some of the topics here, keen to connect. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Bye.